Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's another beautiful day. Um, it's another God-given day. It's another day to be on earth and living. Let's make the best of it today. So today I want to talk about if you can believe it, you can achieve it. This one it's hard because you got to push past a lot of things to get to the point of understanding that you are capable of much more than you think that you're capable of. If you can believe it, what is belief? Something that your mind tells you and you go for it. You can believe you're in poverty. You can believe you're rich. You can believe that you don't have a talent. You can believe you're the most talented person in the world. You can believe that your life is full of purpose, and you can believe you have no purpose at all. You can believe so many things, but the most powerful part of that statement is you can achieve it. What your mind tells you is the things that you will live on a daily basis. What your mind tells you is the things that you believe. What your mind tells you are the things that you speak. What your mind tells you are the things that you act out on a daily basis. Be mindful of the things that you think. You have to think about your thoughts. That sounds crazy. Yes, I understand. But you have to think about your thoughts. You have to understand that the power of life and death is in the tongue, but the power of what you speak comes from here. Use your mind and grow your mind in a way that you choose some impossible things to believe because they will come to fruition. Your mind is so powerful that you have the opportunity to understand whether you really honestly want to go forth and be all that you can be, or if you want to pull back and be nothing. It's all about what you think. It's all about how you choose to understand what you're going through on a daily basis. Some things you're going to have to work through. You're going to have to work through it. But if you train your mind to be powerful, and if you train your mind to believe, no matter what your situation is, if you train your mind to be wealthy, you'll be wealthy. You'll be wealthy. You got to do the work, but you will be. If you tell yourself, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds in 2 days. 2 days. That's not what I mean. 30 pounds in 2 months. Right? If you tell yourself, I can, I will, I am, I must, you will. You have to say, I am going to lose. I am going to be healthy. I am going to choose better. The more you speak to yourself, the more you understand that you have the capability of physically doing what your mind is telling you you're capable of. Sometimes you got to sit back and you have to honestly think about all the things that go on in your life. You manifest them by believing them when you put it up here and you hold it there. There are people that I know that are sick and they mentally heal themselves. It is possible. What you think is how you will act. So a man thinketh that he is. That's biblical. What do you think about yourself? Do you believe that you're capable of living an abundant life? Or are you stuck in your mind in a situation that you're in? People are stressed out. People are having strokes. People are allowing stress to kill them, all because they're holding on to things here and they refuse to release them. Yes, you're going to go through some crap, but release it here and replace those thoughts with things that you want to see come to fruition, and you will be able to achieve more than you ever thought you could achieve. Sometimes you have to sit back and you have to understand and you have to realize that the way you function on a daily basis is based on what you believe. It ain't based on other people. Other people cannot determine how you live your life. Other people cannot determine the things that you do and the things that you say when it comes to, move, Tigger, that's disgusting. Move. Ew. I'm sorry, y'all. Anybody want a dog? Never mind. I love my dog. Can't have him. Can't have him. Anyway, a lot of people believe that they're poverty-stricken. As long as you keep speaking that you're poverty-stricken, you're going to stay that way. As long as you keep speaking that that's where you are, your mental is going to believe it, and you're going to stay that way. Despite of what it looks like, you have to speak where you want to be. And then you have to imagine that that is where you are. You have to imagine that that is the space that you're in. You have to imagine, I'm sorry, y'all, he knocked my thing all the way out the way. Okay, there you go. You have to imagine yourself. You want a new car? Imagine yourself driving that car. Feel it. Feel it. Don't just see it. Feel it. And then you'll start to believe that you are capable of getting that new car. And then once you start believing that you're capable, your actions will show. And then you'll get it. You'll get it. People do not believe the power of the mind. The power of the mind is so serious. It's so serious. You can will yourself into things that you have no idea you're capable of getting. All just by believing. All by just believing. If you think it, you are it. I say it all the time. Speak it as if it is and it will be. It's not just a speaking thing, though. You have to believe it up here that that's exactly what it is. If you want your life to change, if you want to live in your purpose, if you want to live intentionally, if you want to get up every day, start a new routine, if you want to change the lives of your children, if you want to change the lives of your spouse, if you want to do that, you have to start with you first. And that comes from believing that you can achieve those things. You have to believe and understand that you are worthy of so much more than what you give yourself credit for. You have to believe and understand that you're capable of a lot more than just where you are at that moment. That certain situation or that certain circumstance does not determine your entire life. What determines your life and what determines the outcome is what you believe, because what you believe is what you'll achieve. If you believe you're nothing, you'll always be nothing. It doesn't matter what people tell you. It doesn't matter what people tell you. What matters is what you believe. You have the power to write your own pages in the book of life. You are writing a book. Every day you wake up, it's a new day, it's a new chapter. What did you write in that day? What are you writing in that book? What are you writing on those blank pages? Are you writing that you can believe? That you can be more than where your situation has you right now? Are you writing that you can believe that you can be that NFL player, that you can play in that symphony, that you can be an NBA player, that you can play in MLB? Are you writing that you can believe are you writing that you are that artist? Are you believing it? If you have a talent, it doesn't matter. There's a wide variety of talent out there. If you believe that you have a talent, are you speaking that you are that talent? Are you speaking that you're worthy of that talent? If you found your purpose, are you speaking that you are worthy of that purpose? If you have it, clearly you're worthy of it. But if you don't believe you're worthy of it, then it doesn't matter what other people say to you. What matters is what you believe and what you put in your head. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you believe that you wake up every day to do something special with your life, are you speaking and believing that you already are that? Or are you saying, I can? can. Everybody's capable of writing a new story on the next page. Everybody is capable of believing those things that are necessary for you to believe. Everybody is capable of understanding that the belief system is serious. Everybody is capable of believing themselves into something different than what they're sitting in at that moment. Just because you're there at that moment does not mean that you can't change your situation just by believing that you can. If you believe you can, it will happen. The imagination is a beast. You have to imagine. So many kids have a crazy imagination. They can believe they're in a spaceship, but they really playing in a box. What happened as an adult? What happened to your imagination? What happened that you disregard your imagination for living in everyday life? Just because you live in everyday life doesn't mean your imagination is no longer there. It's not null and void. Imagine yourself in the house that you want. And it will happen if you believe that that will happen. Imagine yourself at a better job and believe that that job will get better, and it will. Imagine your relationships changing, and if you imagine your relationships changing, they will. They will. Imagine. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. Imaginations are not just for kids. They're for adults, except I call them visions as an adult. I have visions of where I'm supposed to be in life. I have visions of the purpose that I'm supposed to be living. I have visions of the house that I want to live in. I have visions of the car that I want to drive. I have visions of being mentally wealthy, financially wealthy, emotionally wealthy, spiritually wealthy. I have visions. That's an imagination. Just because I call it a vision don't mean it's not an imagination. And it doesn't mean it can't be reality. So a man thinketh that he is. If I believe I'm mentally wealthy, I'm mentally wealthy. If I believe I'm emotionally healthy, I'm emotionally healthy. If I believe these things, I am. That doesn't mean I don't have to work for it. That doesn't mean I don't have to work for it. But what that does mean is I'm going to start seeing things in a different light. If I believe that I can live in the house that I want to live in, if I believe that I want to live in $1 million house, I'm going to start seeing things in a different light, which will lead me to that house I want to live in. If I believe I can go higher in God, I'm going to imagine myself in those places with God, and those places will come. On a couple lives ago, I think it was a couple of lives ago. I don't think it was yesterday. Or I don't know, because I say it all the time. But I have this thing about saying, I lost it. It'll come back. But anyway, I have this thing about understanding that I have to work for the things that I want in life. But working for something that I want means more than just physical work. You have to do the mental work. You have to do the emotional work. You want healing, you have to do the emotional work. You want understanding, you have to do the mental work. You want to change the dynamics of your situation, you have to do the physical work. At the end of the day, there is work tied into everything that you believe. Ask for it, believe that it will happen, and go for it. It'll happen. The key is the belief. The key is the belief. If you believe, you will achieve. That a man thinketh, so he is. If you think it, it can be yours. If you think it and you believe it, it will be yours. Those are two totally different things. If you think it, it can be yours. If you think it and you believe it, it will be yours. It will be. There's a difference in what can and what will do. There is a difference in I can and I am. very different. There's a difference in I want to and I'm going to. There's a difference. You have to understand that what you believe, if you only stick to I can, that means that you only understand that you're capable of. If you stick to I will, that means you know you're worthy of and you're working to get that. So what do you believe you're worthy of? What do you understand about you? What thoughts are you thinking? Can you control your thoughts? Yes, you can control your thoughts. Are you? Are you going to will yourself into the things that, the abundant life that God has for you? Or are you going to continue to believe that where you are is where you're supposed to stay? People be like, oh, I'm set in my ways. But you can change that if you change your mindset. You just got to be open. People say, oh, my kids ain't going to change. They were born like that. You can change that. If they change their mindset, they can change that. The things that you believe are the things that you will achieve. You have to believe it. You have to imagine yourself in that place, and you have to believe that you will become that, and you will be. Stop believing that where you are now is the end of the road. It's not the end of the road. It's just a situation. You can change that at any moment with your thoughts. Oh, I say all the time that you have to chase purpose, and purpose will find you. You have to chase potential, and potential will find you. In order for you to chase those things, you have to believe that they're possible first. In order for you even know that it's there to be chased, you have to understand that it's possible first. Once you realize that those things are possible, and then you start to believe the possibility, no matter how outrageous it seems, it will be drawn to you, just like you're drawn to it. And then once you start to believe those things, and you both are drawn to each other, they will be achieved. But there's a difference in the way you think, and the way you speak, and the way you live on a daily basis. It all goes together. It all goes together. There are people in the hospital, and the hospitals are like, I don't understand how you just walked out of here and you should have been dead. It's the power of God and the power of the mind. You got to believe it. There are things that you're going through in your everyday life that you want to change, but wanting it is not enough. You have to believe it, that it will change. Because wanting something and believing that something will happen, they're very, very different dynamics. And they're not just a little different. There's a huge, huge spectrum. One is on one side, doing is on the other side. Believing is on the other side. I can is on one side, I will is on the other side. You have to understand the difference. You got to understand your thought patterns. You have to break the cycle. People talk about breaking generational curses. People talk about breaking the cycle in their families. You can't break those cycles if you don't even believe that you're capable of it. You have to realize you're capable first. And once you realize you're capable, you have to believe that that capability is possible. Once you believe that that capability is possible, then that changes everything. That changes the dynamic of how you will live, how you will pursue what you're going, how you will pursue those things that you're trying to do, and understand the difference between trying and doing. Trying is, I'm figuring it out. I'm learning lessons. I ain't quite got there yet, but doing is actually living in. It is actually an action, and it is a thought action. It's not just a physical action. It's a thought action. If you believe it up here, you will always be that. People gonna tell you you ugly. What do you believe? It don't matter what everybody else believe. Do you believe you ugly? If you don't believe you ugly, then don't worry about what other people say. People are often going to tell you you're not worthy of. Do you believe you're not worthy of? You're going to have you in one ear, and you're going to have everybody else in the other ear. And believe me, everybody else is going to be louder than you, but you have the choice to make yourself louder than everybody else. What you believe up here should be louder than what the rest of the world tell you. Don't be conceited in your thoughts either. Don't be conceited in your thoughts. I believe in unrealistic thoughts. I do. I honestly believe in unrealistic thoughts. If I didn't, I wouldn't be where I am today. It was unrealistic for me 20 years ago to believe that I'd be loved on a level that I'm loved on. But I started to believe that I deserve the love that I'm asking for. And I got it. I started to believe that I deserve what I'm asking for, and I got just that. So don't think because your life is full of everything else that you're not capable of understanding and believing something different. If you believe it, you will achieve it. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Dreams is nothing but your imagination running wild while you sleep. I'm going to tell you why I say that. And don't laugh at me either. If you do, I don't care, because Pee-wee has already laughed at me. But let me tell you why I say that. It was food. It was food left in the trash can, and it was onions, and I do not like the smell of onions, okay? I had a dream that night about onions chasing me. How could I have a dream about onions chasing me if my imagination wasn't still available to me? How could I have that dream if my imagination wasn't available to me? You see what I'm saying? What you believe, and that's because I have a problem with, I have a smell, like I have a strong sense of smell. So when something is left and I don't like the way it smells, it bothers me. And my mind believes that that onion was chasing me. But what I'm telling you is, if I can dream that an onion is chasing me, I can dream that I'm going to have $1 million house. And I can feel the feeling, because that feeling was real. That feeling of that onion chasing me was absolutely real. Okay? It was real. In my head, it was real, because I could still smell it in my sleep. So how often do you as an adult use your imagination? How often do you as an adult use those things that you dream about to believe? There are people who have some of the most outrageous dreams. People say, oh, we can't cure cancer. Cancer it's not curable. But there is a doctor who is working on machines to cure cancer without pulling your hair out or pulling you through harsh chemo. I can post about that later if you like. She had a dream about it, and she believed her dream. And because she believed her dream, guess what happened? She's living that reality. She's living that reality. Sometimes you have to open your mind up to receive those dreams. Because after you have a dream, you really forget about it. You forget about it. And it's easy to forget about a dream that you had. But if you really honestly think about what you think about at night, because your subconscious and your mind never stops because your body is asleep. Your body may be resting, but your mind never stops. It's the computer in your system. It keeps going. When it stops going, you dead. Okay? But until you get to that expiration date, your dreams should be so big that they scare you. I had a dream that I was holding $4 million in my hand. And I have a friend that can prove it. And do you know, not 2 days later, I was holding $4 million in my hands. And I was tripped out about it. Y'all know I'm old, I said tripped out, because I think that's what my mom and daddy used to say. But it tripped me out. I dreamed it, and I believed that one day I would have that money in my hand, and I had it in my hand. In my hand. You don't know what you're capable of until you realize that dreams can come true. And when I say can come true, it's because they won't come true until you believe. If you believe it, you will achieve it. If you understand the power of your mind and the power of belief, then you will understand that you can achieve anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Viola Davis, ask Viola Davis. If you pay attention to her interviews, if you pay attention to how she responded to people telling her she was black and ugly and her features were ugly, you know what she said? I dreamed about being who I am, and I am that. It wasn't just the fact that she dreamed it. It was the fact that she believed it. Listen to some of these celebrities talk. Listen to them. Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates said, I wanted to be financially free, but it wasn't until I believed it that it started to happen. Hello, people. Believe it. And it will happen. If you believe it, it will happen. Anything a man can believe, he can achieve. And man is not just men, it means women as well. How often are you telling yourself to dream differently? How often do you believe that you can walk out of your situation at that moment into a higher situation that will make you better? How often do you believe and take time to pour into yourself to understand that you can be different? Who are you hanging around? Are you hanging around people on a level that's higher than you, that will pour back into you what they learned so that you can change the dynamic of where you are and who you're with? Are you hanging around people who will teach you that it's okay to dream impossible dreams? Are you hanging around people that will help you believe those impossible dreams can be possible? They can be. They can be. You have to see it. Envision yourself in a different place. Envision yourself in a place where only you can put yourself in that situation. If you believe, if you get up and stub your toe, and you be like, dang, I stubbed my toe, now my whole day gonna be bad. Your whole day gonna be bad. Because that's what you believe. But if you get up and you stub your toe and you be like, ah, that hurt. That hurt. Thank you, God, for the feeling. Find something to be thankful for every day. That being thankful for something every day will change the way you think. Changing the way you think will in turn change the way you believe, and changing the way you believe will in turn changes the way you achieve. Change the way you become thankful every day. Find something to be thankful for every day that will change the way you think. Changing the way you think changes the way you believe. Changing the way you believe changes the way you will achieve. Do you believe you're capable of achieving something so big? Steve Harvey said he dreamed that this is where he was going to be. Inky said he dreamed his entire life about being in the NFL. If you don't know who Inky is, he used to play football. He did a tackle. He hit somebody so hard that it paralyzed him. They told him he would never play football again. But he found his purpose in that because he believed that was not the end result. He believed that he could still do more. And now Inky is one of the most talented motivation. I don't know why I apologize to myself. Inky is one of the most talented, inspirational speakers out there. Eric Thomas, same thing. Same thing. He came from nothing. He came from being homeless by choice because he didn't like what was going on in his household. And he told himself that I have to rearrange my life and my thought patterns. He made right what was wrong, and he achieved greatness. He is now one of the top motivational speakers in the world because he believed. But if you ask him, he'll tell you, I didn't know this is what I was going to get. I just knew that I was supposed to be speaking. And he lived in that. And he believed that every time he speak, he was supposed to be greater every time. And being greater every time led him to believe that he could achieve the impossible. And he did. He makes multi-million dollars by speaking because he believed that he could do it. Come on, y'all. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it, and it will happen. What you believe up here will cause your actions to change. Once your actions change, that will cause your reality to change. Stop thinking that reality is only what you live in right now. Reality is not only what you live in, reality is also what you believe. You can be the wealthiest person in the world and feel like you ain't got nothing. And feel like you ain't gonna never be nothing. And you ain't. Because that's what you believe. So what are you capable of believing? What do you understand about belief? What do you understand about achieving what you believe? Don't think for 1 second that you're not capable of more than you can imagine. You just have to imagine and believe that you are capable of more. And more will come to you. More will come to you. You got to believe it. God didn't put you here for you to live in poverty. There are people who live in poverty their whole lives and believe they're the richest people in the world. They are. They are, because they don't let the situation around them determine how far or how much they can achieve. They don't. They believe that they are so much more than their situation. And that's what you have to do. You have to believe you are much more than your situation. You have to wake up and you have to want to be happy. Then you have to believe that you're happy. And when you believe that you're happy, you will achieve that goal every day. It takes work. You're going to fight within yourself because you're so used to thinking this way that, you know, this is the only thing you understand. So to combat those thoughts, you have to balance. And once you balance, then you change, then you tip the scale. Right now, you have thoughts here of only believing this. But the scale is still sitting up here of what you can believe. Okay? But this is where you sit. So what you do is you take these thoughts that are down here and you find a happy medium. Once you become habit with that medium, then you tip the scale in your favor. And you start to believe more of this than you do of this. And then you'll achieve much more than what you believe you can achieve. People always say, oh, I want to do this in my life. But you always talking about what you want to do. What are you doing? What are you doing to make that possible? Oh, I want to, be the best swimmer. I want to swim better than Michael Phelps. Did you outwork Michael Phelps and his belief? Michael Phelps believed that no matter what he did, nobody was going to be able to beat him. That's what he believed. Nobody would ever be able to beat him. Ain't nobody beat his records yet. Because he believed that. But if you believe you can beat him, you have to outwork him. And you will achieve that goal. Hey. You can achieve anything. You just have to believe it. Your belief process will change your actions. Your actions will change what you achieve. Your actions will cause you to achieve what you believe. And it'll come to you. If you don't believe me, try it. For 30 days, try to be as positive as you can. If you can't do 30 days, do 7. Try 7 days of waking up every morning with a positive mindset. I am going to be different today. I am going to be happy today. No matter what the situation looks like, I will overcome those situations. And watch how your 7 days will change your entire life. You ain't got to believe me. You ain't got to take my word for it. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've experienced. Believe it. Believe it, and you can achieve it. Well, I'm done for the day. I really just wanted to tell you to believe it, and you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. You're going to hear me talk a lot about the mindset, because that's a powerful thing. People, I think the world only uses, 5% of their brain? 5% of their brain power? What about that other 95%? What about it? Have you decided that you can tap into the other 95%? Have you decided that maybe you'll use 6% of your brain instead of 5%? That 1% will make a difference. If you can utilize that 1%, you can find another 1% after you get used to that one. Then you'll be functioning on 2 extra percents. But it's on you of what you believe. It's on you of what you believe. And then you have to speak differently. You have to speak differently. There's a process to achieving what you believe. You have to ask for it. Ask for it first. You have to understand that you are capable of it. You have to know, meaning believe. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that it is possible. You notice I'm not saying can or it will be. It is possible. You have to believe with all of your heart that it will happen. And then everything about you will change. When you change what's up here, you change mental, you change physical, you change emotional, you change spiritual. Once you change all of that because of how you think, achieving it will be no problem. So, believe it and achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And I say if because it's up to you to do it. Okay? It's up to you. Make your choice today to believe the impossible. Make your choice today to achieve the impossible. Speak it. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Speak it. Speak it as if it is and it will be. Chase your dreams. Don't just sit there and dream it. That dream is given to you for a reason. If you're supposed to be a sports commentator, do it. If you're supposed to be a swimmer, do it. If you're supposed to be a violinist, do it. If you're supposed to be an artist, do it. If you're supposed to paint, do it. If you're supposed to be a fisherman, do it. If you're supposed to be in ministry, do it. If you're supposed to be in finances, do it. What do you dream about? And don't conform to what the world is telling you. And what I mean by that is school teaches you to test. They don't teach you to be an entrepreneur. How about you pick up a book? The greatest secrets in the world are hidden in books. And people often say they ain't never heard, they ain't never seen no, because you haven't picked up a book. There are many books out there that you can read. The Dummy's Guide to Starting a Business. It'll change your mind about the way you look at the world. You Owe You by Eric Thomas. It'll change your mind about the way you look at the world. There are lots of financial literacy books that you can learn. But it's on you. It's on you. What happens in your life and what happens every day to you is based on what you believe. What happens to you on a daily basis is based on what you believe. What do you speak in the mornings when you get up? What do you believe in the mornings when you wake up? People be like, oh, I woke up in a bad mood. That's because that's what you believe. Do you believe you can wake up in a better mood? Do you believe that you can wake up and have a good day? Do you? If you start believing that, it will start happening. Once it starts happening, it will change the dynamic of your life. Your life is on the line here. Your life is on the line. You're going to keep believing yourself that you can't do anything until death? You're going to keep believing you sick to death? You're going to keep believing that it's not possible to death? You're going to keep believing in poverty till death? Are you going to keep believing that you're not that intelligent till death? Are you going to believe that you can't change till death? That's foolish. That's foolish when there is so much world for you to achieve and see out there. Believe that you can travel once a month, and you will. Believe that you'll be financially free, and you will. Believe that you can wake up every day in a good mood, and you will. It takes work, though. It takes work. So don't think that just because you believe it, that it's going to happen. You have to believe it. You have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. How bad do you want to breathe? See, most people don't think about the breath of life because it's automatic. You breathe on autopilot. You don't have to think about breathing. It naturally happens. But go put yourself in the pool and see how long you can stay up under that water. How bad do you really want to breathe? If somebody was holding you underwater, how much would you fight to come up so you could breathe? That's how bad you should fight for your life. That's how persistent you should be about the life that you live on a daily basis. That's how much you should believe you can achieve way more than the situation or the circumstance you're in right now. That's how much you should take time to understand that your dreams will be reality. But you gotta want it that bad. You gotta want it that bad. Are you capable of wanting anything that bad? Are you capable of wanting to change that bad? Are you capable of achieving things? You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. So anyway, I'm done. I just wanted to encourage you guys to believe in you, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe in your purpose, believe in everything that you need to believe in, and go get them. Go get them. It's all on you with what you do, but go get it. Because you're worthy of it. I can tell you you're worthy of it all day, but if you don't believe it, then it don't matter what I say. So tell yourself that you're worthy. Give yourself affirmations. Don't just say, I can achieve these. Say, I will. Don't just say, I'm going to. Say, I am. Those affirmations make a big difference in how you live your life. Don't speak that you're going to have a bad day because something happened that morning. And don't let one situation throughout the day make your whole day bad. Believe that you're still going to have a good day despite of what it looks like. And it will be good. It will be. I'm going to give you one example and then I'm going to go. A good friend of mine died a couple years ago. And his mom said to me, I appreciate the fact that God allowed me to borrow my son for 39 years. In the midst of her grief, in the midst of her losing her best friend, because her and her son were inseparable. You saw him, you saw her. In the midst of the pain, she still saw good in the situation. Despite of all that she had to go through mentally, physically, emotionally, she still saw good in that situation. You have to believe that you can be so much more than where you are and what you are right now. And you will be. Live a life that you deserve because you believe that you deserve it and you did what needed to happen to achieve it. You got this. I know you can. Do you believe you can? I know you will. Do you believe you will? What does your mind tell you? It starts here. It starts here. Put it in your head that you are capable and then achieve that capability. Believe it and achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. But you got to believe it first. Your mind will change everything else. Your mind will cause your actions to change, and it will be subconscious. Your actions will change, which will cause your achievements to change. You wonder how Maya Angelou got where she is or where she was? Listen to her poetry. She believed it was possible. Come on, y'all. Y'all got the power. You have the power. You just have to utilize the power in a different form. If you believe you're going to stay in debt, you're going to stay in debt. If you believe you're going to get out of debt and you speak that you will be out of debt, you will be. Do vision boards and honestly believe that those vision boards will come true. You got to believe it first. And they'll happen. They won't all happen right now, but they will happen in time. Don't throw your vision boards away. Put them away. Put them in a box. Put them in a closet. Put them somewhere. And 2-3 years down the line, go look at your vision board and see what you've achieved. But don't just make a vision board. You can't just see it. You have to place things on there that you actually believe can come to pass. You have to place things on there that you actually believe will come to pass. And they will. And they will. So I just wanted to encourage you this morning to believe it and you will achieve it. And I wanted to encourage you to change your mindset. I want to challenge you to do 7 days worth of waking up thankful. Waking up with an attitude of gratitude. It'll change the dynamics of your entire life. It will change the dynamic of what your future looks like. You have the power to change your future. What you are to be, you are now becoming. What you are to be, you are now becoming. What are you becoming? That doesn't stop as a kid. You have to become that as an adult. Sometimes you always have to reintroduce yourself to the world. Hey, y'all. I'm Bebe. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... I'm not the person you knew 20 years ago. I'm not the person you knew 2 years ago. Matter of fact, I'm not the same person that you knew last year. Evolving is human nature. Changing is human nature. You stunt your own growth with your mindset. So don't stunt your growth. Be proud of change. People tell me all the time, oh, you ain't in the hood no more, so you think you better than us. No, baby, I remember where I come from. And she's still in there. She's still in there. But what I choose to live on a daily basis came from me wanting different. I don't want my kids to walk down the street and see nobody shot and stabbed and ducking. I don't want, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen everywhere. That just means I grew up like that. I grew up watching people stabbed. I grew up seeing people in the creek dead behind where I lived. I lived in Singing Hills, so that Glendale had a creek. There were people back there all the time. I grew up watching crackheads walk down the street. I don't forget that. I remember where I come from. But that doesn't mean my mentality has to stay where that is. For me, growth comes when you are ready to evolve and when you are ready to change into who you are supposed to be. That comes from believing you can be different. That comes from understanding that difference will happen. That comes from achieving different when you live it every day. So believe it and achieve it. It ain't as easy as it sounds, but it's worth it when it happens. Okay? So choose to be worthy of so much more than where you are right now. Choose to be worthy of understanding that you have it, what it takes to get where you need to be. Choose to understand and believe that you are capable of the impossible and watch the impossible happen. Okay? I'm done for the day. I will see y'all another day. Bye, y'all.